tonight's event in celebration of the official launch of the Religion and Public Life Center at Rice University. Woo! I am so personally touched to see so many of you here tonight to honor this occasion. Before we begin officially, I want to take a small moment to acknowledge the tragedy that occurred on our campus 2 days ago. We offer our deepest sympathies and condolences to Andrea Rodriguez Avila's loved ones and friends, and to the entire Rice community. For those of you who don't know me, I am Elaine Howard Ecklund. I am a professor of sociology at Rice University, which is my privilege. I also direct the Boniuk Institute for the Study and Advancement of Religious Tolerance, and I was the founding director of the Religion and Public Life program, which tonight, as you know, is becoming the Religion and Public Life Center. For the past 14 years, I have dreamed of the expansion of the Religion and Public Life program into a center, so tonight marks a very special occasion for me personally. With that, I want to say a special, thank you. I want to say a special thank you to Haley Hemstreet and Laura Ackenbaum, who worked as program manager and associate director of research, respectively, for the RPLP for many years, and were key partners with me in starting and advancing the Religion and Public Life program. I also want to say a special thank you to our donors, Matt and Bess Waring, and to Laura Sorrell, as well as other key RPLP donors. And I want to say a special thanks to Dr. Milton and Mrs. Lori Boniuk, the namesake donors of the Boniuk Institute. Members of the Boniuk family are here, right here with us tonight, and I am just so thrilled that the Religion and Public Life Center can be the first academic center housed within the Boniuk Institute. Indeed, the Religion and Public Life Center represents the next stage of growth for the Boniuk Institute, which is to house premier research centers around its core themes. And I couldn't be more pleased and excited to have my colleague, Dr. Rachel Schneider, as the leader of the first center. And now it's my distinct privilege for a few moments to introduce you to Dr. Rachel Schneider. Dr. Schneider is an assistant research professor in the Department of Religion at Rice University. She currently serves as associate director of academic programs at the Boniuk Institute, and for the past 2 years has been the director of the Religion and Public Life program, and has really led this forward to becoming a center, achieving all of the benchmarks that Rice has for programs becoming centers. As a scholar of religion, Rachel focuses on how religion can undergird systems of inequality, such as race and gender inequality, but also how religion and spirituality can shape ethical and political practices and can even inspire social change. She works at the intersection of the humanities and the social sciences, so does the kind of multidisciplinary scholarship that's become a real hallmark of the Religion and Public Life Center. She has published in various academic journals. I'll read out just a few of the top journals that she's published in: the Journal of the American Academy of Religion, the Journal of Religion in Africa, the Journal of Religious Ethics, Socius, Sociology of Religion, Sociology of Race and Ethnicity, and other top journals. She's also the co-host of the RPLC podcast, Religion Unmuted, which explores how religion is lived in the world around us. In 2022, Rachel was appointed director of the Religion and Public Life program, and you can learn much more about her efforts and all that the program has accomplished as it moves into a center in the event program and in the booklet. And with that, I am pleased to hand over the rest of this evening's program to Dr. Rachel Schneider, Director of the Religion and Public Life Center. Congratulations, Rachel.
Thank you, Elaine, for that warm introduction. And wow, look at all of you. I am just so overjoyed and honored that so many of you came out tonight for this occasion. I see some of you standing and back in this room. If you want to be comfortable and sit down at any time, I invite you, don't be shy to sit at these chairs or bring up a chair. I just want to make sure that people feel comfortable in this space. Tonight we celebrate 14 years of innovative research, training, and outreach. And it is fitting to begin with gratitude. Thank you to Elaine and the Boniuk Institute for your support of the RPLC. Thank you to Rice University. And thank you to Quanah Lake, Kate Eubanks, and Haley Hemstreet for all you have done to make tonight's event possible. I also want to thank the Religion Department, where I'm an assistant research professor. And thank you again to all of you, our many friends and supporters. There is a beautiful concept often invoked in Southern Africa of Ubuntu, the recognition that our existence and our thriving is predicated on our connection to others. And that certainly is the case for RPLC. We began as a small program 14 years ago, and it is because of the energy of our team, because of the enthusiastic engagement of our supporters, Rice's administration, especially the School of Social Sciences, and of course, because of the path-making vision of our founding director, Elaine Ecklund, that we find ourselves here tonight. I especially want to recognize several guests here tonight without whom the RPLC would not be possible. Matt and Bess Waring, and Laura and Mark Sorrell, thank you so much for supporting our vision to use research on religion to build common ground for the common good through your gifts to the Religion and Public Life program. And on a personal note, I want to thank you, Elaine. We first met on a Zoom call, a pre-pandemic Zoom call. I was in Houston, you were in France, and I was seeking your advice on how to bridge scholarly work and public-facing work as a new PhD. As so many others can testify, your warmth and your sage advice immediately struck me. Soon, I was regularly walking up 4 flights of stairs in Lovett Hall at 8 a.m. to join meetings, but I was really drawn to the vibrant intellectual life that you had created and that I encountered. The bagels and the coffee at this 8 a.m. meeting were an added bonus, of course. From there, I went on to become a postdoctoral research fellow at the RPLP, and I was so honored to be named director of the Religion and Public Life program in 2022. I can truly say that at every turn, Elaine, you have encouraged me as a scholar and empowered me as a leader and created opportunities for me. And so I know I'm not alone in this, so please join me in giving a round of applause to Elaine. So now I want to talk about the RPLC, the importance of our work in this moment, and my vision for the future. The Religion and Public Life Center's mission is to produce cutting-edge scholarship on religion and public life that serves the common good. In a time of rising polarization and deepening inequalities, it has never been more important to understand the role of religion in public life. 84% of the world is estimated to be religiously affiliated, and this number only grows if we include unaffiliated people who engage in some sort of religious practice or belief. In contrast to modern predictions of privatization and secularization, religion touches almost every social institution in our global context, from governments and law to family, education, health, and the economy. Religion is not only something that informs individual identities, it's also how humans group themselves, and it shapes relationships between groups. Even if you are not personally religious, you only have to look at the morning news for ample evidence of how religion impacts our most intimate and personal lives, our social lives, and our political lives. Indeed, historically and today, there has been much debate about the role of religion in public life and how it promotes or impedes the common good. Religion is often seen as a contributor to conflict, discrimination, and inequality, especially when we think about things like gender, race, and sexuality. At the same time, religion offers important sources of community, identity, meaning, and ethics, and religion has the power to bring people together around visions of a better world and spur them to action. It is this awareness of religion's power to shape the world that first drew me to the academic study of religion. I earned my PhD here at Rice, and it continues to motivate my scholarly work. Currently, I'm writing a book on religion and social change in South Africa, examining the ways that individuals draw on religion and spirituality in their quest to imagine and work for a new South Africa, one that is inclusive, democratic, and racially just. But South Africa, like the United States and so many other contexts in our world, is a place that religion has also contributed to exclusive visions of the nation. It is a place where religion has sanctioned racism, ethnic hierarchies, and violence, even as it has spurred moral activism and embodied acts of solidarity with marginalized communities. While religion is often instrumentalized in socially damaging ways, and we need to study this now more than ever, religion and spirituality also provides a safe space of belonging, social safety nets, and community support, as well as personal sustenance for those who need it the most. I'm thinking here of my friend Nsing, a Black female artist who is also a traditional healer and Christian minister who lives in one of the most impoverished neighborhoods in Johannesburg and who feels called to create space for Black women's healing through the arts and reclaiming African spirituality. Closer to home, I'm thinking of the many Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, and Buddhist citizens who, motivated by their faith, are working to ensure that vulnerable Houstonians have access to food, shelter, mental and physical health care, and legal aid. And some of the people who are doing this work are here tonight. Directing the RPLP the last 2 years has convinced me that in a pluralistic world, there is a need to understand how religion is lived if we care about advancing institutional diversity, strengthening belonging, and reducing inequality. I've been lucky these past few years to do research through the RPLP and to publish with our graduate students on topics like how people draw on religion and their faith to cope with racial discrimination at work, and the important role of clergy in health and science promotion within the Black church. And I'm proud of the research that I and others on our team have done on religious discrimination in the US, including anti-Muslim, anti-Jewish, and non-religious discrimination, and how this intersects with other forms of discrimination related to identity. All of this research is important if we are to understand the ways religion is lived and experienced by people on the ground. Far too often, discussions of religion's social, political, and identity-shaping power lack nuanced understanding of religious people, communities, and traditions. Instead, conversations remain locked in stereotypes and generalizations. At the same time, religion rarely receives the same academic attention that other social and cultural forces receive, and this only adds to the myopia. We need focused and expansive research agendas on religion that add value to public discourse and uphold the highest values of the university. Values of intellectual integrity, research excellence, critical inquiry, and free exchange. The Boniuk Institute's Religion and Public Life Center, along with collaborators and like-minded scholars across Rice, a private research university that is located in one of the most culturally diverse and religiously rich cities in the nation, is poised to deliver just that. So here at the RPLC, we aim to investigate how religion shapes and is shaped by the world we live in, and how religion motivates human action. We want to be a hub for multidisciplinary research, training, and public engagement so that we can better understand religion's impact in contemporary global life and equip others to confront common challenges within our plural, interconnected world. Building on the foundation of the past 14 years, we will do this in 3 ways. The first is continuing to produce outstanding research. Since our founding in 2010, the RPLP has raised over $12 million in grant funding and engaged in 15 research initiatives. Our team has produced 166 publications, including 15 books, and given 263 lectures and presentations. We have addressed topics such as religion and science, religion and immigration, religion and politics, religion in the workplace, religion and racism, and so much more. In the next phase, we look forward to continuing our excellent research track record, drawing on both the humanities and the social sciences. Our focus continues to be on religion and public life broadly, with attention to 4 priority areas: religion, gender, and inequality; race, racism, and religion; congregations and religion and institutions; and religion, civic capacity, politics, and social change. The second way we do our work is through training scholars in the research process. Here at RPLC, we take seriously the pedagogical imperative of the university to train the next generation of thought leaders and scholars. Mentoring students and early career scholars has been central to our ethos. To date, we have trained over 123 undergraduates, graduates, post-baccalaureate, and postdoctoral research fellows. And I'm so proud of our current multidisciplinary team of undergraduate and graduate students, many who you've probably already met. If not, I encourage you to meet them after. We call them RPLC scholars. And they are already changing the world with their own academic work on religion, race, and immigration, poverty, religion, and state conflict, congregational responses to COVID-19, U.S. Muslims and racial ethnic divides, interfaith cooperation and conflict in African contexts, and religion's impact on racial attitudes and political engagement among Asian Americans, and so much more. Importantly, we place priority not just on training in the research process, but also on learning how to engage with a diversity of communities or publics so that research on religion can be used by those who need it the most. Which brings me to the third way we do our work: investing in public outreach and research translation. At the RPLC, we believe that excellent research has something to add to public conversations about religion. The RPLC is committed to making our scholarship accessible to a diversity of communities while learning from and alongside them. Since 2010, we have had over 10,000 media mentions and hosted 119 public events, many which have been specifically designed for religious and civic leaders. I'm especially proud that since our initial founding, we have engaged over 1,500 civic and religious leaders directly. We know the heavy burdens that our civic and religious leaders carry, and we want to support their work by creating space for generative dialogue and transformative learning that benefits those doing critical work on the ground. This is why our religious and civic leader gatherings have used research to address topics such as clergy mental health and burnout, Islamophobia and anti-Semitism, the role of religious communities in addressing health and education disparities, and the role of faith-based nonprofits in poverty alleviation. We began as a small program 14 years ago with a few undergraduates, a director's vision, and seed funding from the School of Social Sciences. So much has happened since then, but in the coming years, I'm excited to build on the legacy of the RPLP and to represent the next stage of growth as a center. So in the following year, we're going to do this several ways. The first is continuing our signature religious and civic leader gatherings, a core program that reaches out to leaders to foster research-driven dialogue on relevant topics. This fall, we welcome Diane Winston and Curtis Chang for intentional gatherings focused on religion, politics, polarization, and the media in light of the November elections. And if you would like to attend those, please talk to me after. Our weekly joint RPLC and BI scholars meetings, Boniuk Institute. So we hold weekly meetings for Rice faculty, staff, postdoctoral fellows, outside scholars, undergraduate and graduate students, where we build intellectual community and share current research and work in progress. One of my favorite times of the week. The third is the launch of our third season of our podcast, Religion Unmuted, where we explore how religion is lived in the world around us. Seasons 1 and 2 focused especially on amplifying women's voices and on issues of gender. And there are some real gems there, so I encourage you to go and listen to some of them. Finally, I am excited to be leading in the coming year with my colleagues in the Boniuk Institute a study of how religious leaders serve their communities and partner together in Houston, funded by the Arthur Vining Davis Foundations. The RPLC is also building a multidisciplinary network of scholars on race and religion. We just sponsored our second all-day symposium on race and religion at the Association for the Sociology of Religion meeting with session attendance totaling 120. And I, along with my colleague Onia Akwabi, are really excited for our next gathering at the Society for the Scientific Study of Religion meeting in October. Additionally, for the past 2 years, I've led a workshop for Centers on Religion and Public Life at the American Academy of Religion meeting, and I will do so again this year, sharing what I've learned at Rice with our institutional peers. So in closing, now is not the time for academic silos or for intellectual withdrawal. Too much is in stake in terms of our planetary future and our collective global life. Bell Hooks once wrote that one of the dangers we face in educational systems is the loss of feeling of community, not just the loss of closeness among those with whom we work and with our students, but also the loss of feeling of connection and closeness with the world beyond the academy. I'm proud to say that community is a core value of the RPLC. We seek to foster intellectual community between our students, faculty, and staff, but we also seek to cultivate connection to those who might not typically engage with the university. We want to use research on religion to aid people to work across differences and to build a more just and equitable world, one that supports human flourishing and collective well-being. While it may sound naive and idealistic, I am not ashamed to say that we at the RPLC want to use research to make the world a better place. We do not shy away from investigating hard issues and topics, things like racism, discrimination, inequality, politics, extremism, and polarization. We do not turn away from examining the ways religion intersects with systems of injustice. But we also do not minimize the ways that religion and spirituality, in the most expansive sense, is a source of human community, identity, meaning, and morality, the impact of which remains an open question, better or worse. Indeed, to grapple with religion's better and worse is essential, I believe, for cultivating a diverse community of learning and discovery here at Rice, as well as for democratic citizenship. And this is part of the work that we do. I hope that all of you will join us in this work and see yourselves as part of our community. As director of the RPLC, I look forward to finding synergy and points of connection and collaboration across Rice University with other departments, institutes, centers, and programs, as well as with civic and religious leaders here in Houston and beyond. I welcome those of you within and outside of Rice University to reach out to me if you want to be involved in the RPLC in a deeper way. And to leaders of all types here in the audience, I see you especially. I know that you are on the front lines of pressing social challenges while often grappling yourselves with issues of burnout and resource constraint. We want to serve you with our research and also be taught by you. We want you to inform our research, and we need you to point us to the places, spaces, and voices we need to be listening to. Finally, if you are interested in partnering with us by financially supporting the RPLC and our work, this will allow us to expand our reach and deepen our impact, fulfilling our vision and mission. We really cannot do this work without funding. So there is a QR code on the back of your pamphlet. Please consider making a gift to the RPLC in celebration of our legacy and in honor of our launching. And now, please join me for a reception of food, drink, community building. I look forward to greeting as many of you as I can, and I hope that you will also meet one another. Thank you so much.